To celebrate the Halloween season, Yu-Gi-Oh has introduced two brand new monsters that are definitely not live twins. Meet Hallo and Ween, the spirits of tricks and treats. Of course, these are cards that do their own things, but the similarities to Leela and Kiss Kill of the live twins was obviously intentional. With how popular those monsters have become, of course they would want to repeat the success. So Hallo and Ween actually made their debut in Master Duel before the TCG. At first their effects might not seem all that powerful, but they're pretty interesting once you see them in practice. Hallo, the Spirit of Tricks, is a level 4 Dark Fiend monster with 0 attack and defense. If it is normal or special summon, you can make your opponent choose the effect it gets. The first option is to gain 800 attack for each Fiend monster in the graveyard. The second is to inflict 500 damage for each Fiend monster in your graveyard. If it wasn't already clear, the whole theme of making your opponent choose the effect is supposed to be like trick-or-treating. On top of that, it has an additional effect that if it's destroyed, you can send one monster your opponent controls to the graveyard. That one is pretty good considering how Fiend decks love to destroy their own cards. Ween, the Spirit of Treats, is a level 4 Dark Zombie monster with 0 attack and defense. Its main effect is basically the same as Hallo, except that it works with zombie monsters instead of fiends. And the final effect that triggers when it is destroyed allows you to special summon a monster from your opponent's graveyard, which also works together with many other zombie strategies. I think it's actually really neat that they both work pretty well with their respective types, though they kind of miss out on being helpful alongside each other. Like, I guess hypothetically you could play them in the same deck, but you really wouldn't get the best out of their effects. It's a shame too, because there's even a spell that allows you to search your deck for either one of them. They were clearly designed as counterparts and canonically live together in their spooky little universe, but it doesn't seem like they'll be developed further into a singular deck. When it comes to the presentation, man, they really knocked it out of the park. They each have unique summon animations in Master Duel, and on the OCG YouTube channel, they just uploaded this promotional video that shows their art broken down. You get a better look at some of the creatures that appear in the background of Hallo. They're all pink and orange colored and have pointy and spindly shapes that fit as more mischievous beings. They fit right alongside Hallo herself, who's dressed up as a witch. Again, there's a pretty distinct shape and color language that evokes feelings of Halloween being set in the fall. The warmer colors match the changing leaves and bright early sunsets. Ween features some more classic style Halloween imagery built off of familiar creatures. It matches her outfit, which also emulates Frankenstein's monster. With all the candy in her hair and the almost nostalgic feeling to the classic monsters, it works as a way to tie her into being the Spirit of Treats. The cooler colors make a nice contrast to Hallo, but also represent the nightfall or even the faint glow of a movie screen. And also she doesn't have as many pointy shapes, making for a nice contrast. These monsters get to shine pretty brightly in Master Duel, which is basically put on like a little Halloween event. It really is only a duel trial, the theme being that you must include either Hallo or Ween in your deck, but honestly combined with everything else it really works out. Even just the rental decks for the event being Fiend Link and Vampire actually show off a little of what these monsters are capable of, because once you get things moving with your strategy, slapping down one of these monsters onto the board presents your opponent with a pretty difficult choice. Do they deal with a beat stick or do they take the burn damage head on? Also in the shop there's a bundle centered around accessories featuring these monsters, and there are even some other accessories featuring well-known monsters that are there for a limited time. Thankfully, I can finally add Ghost Trick Lantern to my collection of mates after I missed out on it the first time. And there's even a Pumpkin item, now that is a power move. In the end, I'm pretty happy with the extra little steps that seem to have been taken with introducing these monsters and giving Yu-Gi-Oh fans something cool for Halloween. I definitely see Hallo and Ween becoming fine additions to their respective deck types, but I think it would have been even cooler if they all worked together in a strategy rather than being generic support. All of those creatures that appear in the backgrounds of their artwork would make for great monsters to flesh out a full archetype, but I guess that won't be happening. Still, it seems like Yu-Gi-Oh as a whole is realizing now more than ever that fans can really get attached to some of the character designs, especially when you put the effort into their presentation. I've already seen a lot of fan art of these two, and I'm glad they get to join the ever-expanding pantheon of Yu-Gi-Oh monsters. So let me know what you think in the comments below and which of the two is your favorite. Personally, I've got to side with Ween, the Spirit of Treats. Those are the vibes I'm just gonna need going into October 31st. Anyway, this is GatorX, thank you so much for watching and I'll catch you all later.